everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in today's video we are going to understand how to create Mailchimp subscriber and ClickUp task from new email received in Outlook. So here my objective is that whenever I am going to receive a new email in Outlook, then I want to create a task in ClickUp, and once the task is created, I also want to add the sender as a subscriber in my Mailchimp account. Now to do this, I need to build a connection between these applications, for which I'm going to use this amazing automation software, that is Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn more about this, follow me through the screen. In this video, we are going to understand how to create Mailchimp subscriber and ClickUp task from received Outlook email. I'm a human resource manager and I'm currently hiring. I've shared a post on my LinkedIn account which states that the job applicant should send a mail with the subject line job applicant candidate or interested candidate. Once the mail is received, then I want to create a task in ClickUp, and I also want to add the sender as a subscriber in my Mailchimp account. So now to automate this entire process, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect, and as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. But if you're a new user, you can click on the sign up for free button, and every month you will get 100 tasks for free. So as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. Now this here is the all applications page. So here I will go to Pabbly Connect and click on access now to reach my dashboard. In the meanwhile, subscribe to our channel. So this here is my dashboard, and now in order to create a new workflow, I will go to my right hand side corner and click on this create workflow button. So now in this dialog box appearing, I'm going to give my workflow a name. So here I've named my workflow as create Mailchimp subscriber and ClickUp task from received Outlook email. And on my left hand side, you can see that these are the folders that I've created before. So as this is an automation for Outlook, so I want to save this workflow in the folder named as Outlook automation. And now I'm going to click on create. So as I did that, now I've arrived on a very important window which consists of trigger and action. Basically, trigger and action are the two most important principles or concepts of Pabbly Connect on which this entire automation will depend. Trigger says when this happens, action says do this. Action is an automated response of our trigger application, and in a workflow, we can only have one trigger but multiple action applications. So now moving to my use case, that is to create Mailchimp subscriber and ClickUp task from Outlook email. So now in order to do that, here I'm going to search for Microsoft Office 365. Here it is. And the trigger event will be new mail. So this trigger will start working whenever a new mail will be received. Now moving to my action window, as I want to create a task in ClickUp. So over here, I'm going to search ClickUp as my action application. And the action event will be to create a task. Now moving to my another action window, as I want to create a subscriber in Mailchimp. So over here, I'm going to use Mailchimp as my action application. And the action event will be to add member with custom fields. So over here, as I've selected my trigger application and the trigger event along with the action applications and the action events, my objective is to create a Mailchimp subscriber and ClickUp task from received Outlook email. So in order to do that, over here, I need to establish a connection between Microsoft 365 and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to click on connect. So now to add a new connection, as I've already opened Outlook in one of the tabs, so here I'm simply going to click on connect. So here I'm going to click on accept as this is a secure access. And over here you can see that the authorization was successful. So Microsoft Office 365 and Pabbly Connect is successfully connected. So our trigger application is a polling based one. So this trigger will check for new data in every 10 minutes. So as I'm going to click on the save and send test request button, it will get me the most latest mail which I would have received on my Outlook account. So this here is the job application mail which I'm going to send, and the mail is successfully sent. So here in Outlook, you can see that I have received a new mail, and over here is the content. So you can see that the subject line is of the job application candidate as it was mentioned in the LinkedIn post which I've shared. So over here, as I've received a mail now in Pabbly Connect, as of now I'm setting up this automation. So as I'm going to click on save and send test request button, it will get me the most latest mail right now. So over here is the subject line, scrolling down to some other details. So over here is the content of the mail. So that means the mail which I've just received on my Outlook account is successfully captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So the first step of this automation is set up. That means now whenever I'm going to receive a new mail on my Outlook account, then automatically that mail will get captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So this trigger will check for new data in every 10 minutes. So as over here in Pabbly Connect, I've successfully captured the mail. Now moving ahead, as I only want to proceed with those mails whose subject line will include job applicant candidate. So in order to do that, here I'm going to click on this add action step and I'm going to use filter by Pabbly. So filter by Pabbly will help me to set up conditions in this workflow. So the action event will be to filter values. Now I'm going to click on connect. So over here from the select label, I'm going to select the subject as the label. So over here is the subject that I've mentioned it. The filter type should be of contains. So if the subject line will contain job application candidate, in that condition, this workflow should run ahead. So over here, I'm going to mention it in the value, that is job application candidate. So over here, I've mentioned the label as job application candidate. The filter type should be contains and the value is job application candidate. Now here I'm going to click on save and send test request. And over here, you can see that I have received a response and the status is success. The message's condition is true. So over here, I've set up a condition that only those mails should go ahead whose subject line will contain job application candidate in the subject line. So as the condition is true and the status is success, now moving ahead, now I want to create a task in ClickUp. So in order to do that here, I need to build a connection between ClickUp and Pabbly Connect. I'm going to click on connect and now to add a new connection, I need to mention the API token. So read the instruction given below over here carefully because this will help you to get your API token. So now I'm going to take you to my ClickUp account. Over here, I will go to my workspace and over here, I will go to settings and in settings, I will go to apps. And over here in apps, this here is my API token. I'm going to copy it and now I'm going to paste the same in Pabbly Connect and click on save. So here you can see that ClickUp and Pabbly Connect is connected. So now to mention the workspace, space, folder name and the list name, for these details, I'm going to take you to my ClickUp account. And over here, I've created the space by the name of Pabbly Connect. And over here, you can find the folder name and the list name as well. So here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to select my workspace first. And now I'm going to select my space. So as I've selected the space, so it has automatically detected the folder name and the list name because it only consists of one folder and the list over here in ClickUp. So here in Pabbly Connect. So now moving to the task name. Over here, I want to give the task name as the subject line. So over here, I'm giving the subject line. And now over here, after that, I want to mention the name of the sender. So over here, I'm going to search for the name. And here is the email address name. So over here, as you can see that I have framed a task name. So I've mentioned these details by a method that is called as mapping. So basically mapping means to insert the data from previous step. So as I've received the response from Microsoft Office 365. So over here from that response, I've mentioned the details of the task name. So now moving to the description. So over here in description, I've already mentioned a line which goes as contact this candidate on the given mail ID. So again from the response received, I'm going to map the email ID. So over here is the email ID and I've mapped it. So now moving to the assignee ID, you can select the assignee if you want to. Now moving to the tags, priority and some other details. So if you want to mention these details, you can do that as per your requirement. But as of now, I don't want to mention the tags, due date or the start date. So over here, I'm going to leave these fields blank. But in case if you want to mention the due date and the start date, make sure to follow the same format that is given in the instruction. You need to enter the timestamp in milliseconds. So over here, I've selected the status as to do and over here, I'm going to click on save and send test request. So over here, I've received a response and this here is a positive response. That means a task would have been created in my ClickUp account. So taking you to my ClickUp account, over here, I'm going to scroll down and over here, yes, you can see that a new task is successfully created. So now I'm going to open this and over here, you can see the task name, job application candidate and over here is the name of the sender. So over here in the description, you can see that over here, I've mentioned the mail ID. So now I'm going to close this. That means in ClickUp, a task is successfully created. So as I've successfully created a task in ClickUp, now I want to create a subscriber in Mailchimp. So in order to do that, here I'm going to click on connect. And now to add a new connection, I need to mention the token and the data center. So read the instruction given below over here carefully because this will help you to get the token and the data center. So now I'm going to take you to my Mailchimp account and over here I will go to my profile. And here in my profile, I will go to extras and then go to API keys. So here these are my API keys, and now in order to create a new one, I'm going to create a key. And now I'm going to give my API key a name that will be new key. And now I'm going to generate it. So this here is my API key. I'm going to copy it. And now here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to paste it. Now moving to the data center. So over here in the URL, this here is the data center. I'm going to copy it. And again over here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to paste it. Now I'm going to click on save. So over here, you can see that Mailchimp and Pabbly Connect is connected. So now moving to the audience list and the other details. So here the audience list name is by the name of Pabbly Connect. So over here, I'm going to select it. Now moving to the details of email address and the other details. So here to mention the email address, I'm going to map it from the response which I've received. So here I've mapped the sender email address. Now I'm not going to mention any tag. I'm leaving it blank. And the status of the subscriber will be subscribed. I'm leaving the interest field blank. I don't want to mention it as of now. Now moving to the details of first name, last name and other details. So here again from the response received, I'm going to map it. So over here, you can see that the sender name is given along with the surname. So in order to split it, I'm going to click on this add action step. And over here, I'm going to use text formatter by Pabbly. So text formatter by Pabbly will help me to split the text in two parts. So here I'm going to click on connect. And now in text to split, I'm going to map the name. So here I'm searching for the name and I've mapped it. Now the separator will be the space. So here I've mentioned the separator as space and the segment index will be all. So now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And over here you can see that the name is successfully split. So here's the first name and here's the last name. Now going to my Mailchimp window, over here from the response received, I'm going to map the first name and now I'm going to map the last name. So as I want to create a subscriber in Mailchimp and I've mapped the details over here in these fields, this method of mapping is important so that every time you're going to receive a new response, so that response could be taken into consideration in these fields. If I would have written this information manually, in that case, this information could have become static, which means that it wouldn't change even if I would have received a new response. So in order to avoid that problem, we map the information. So as I've mapped the details, here I'm going to click on save and send test request. And over here, you can see that I have received a response and this here is a positive response. That means a subscriber is successfully created in my Mailchimp account. So now I'm going to take you to my Mailchimp account. So over here in Mailchimp, you can see that a subscriber is created just now. So over here is the first name and here is the last name. That means a subscriber is successfully created in my Mailchimp account. So this automation is a successful one. That means now whenever I'm going to receive a new mail through Outlook, then automatically a task will be created in ClickUp and then a subscriber will be added in my Mailchimp account. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Not just these applications, you can integrate a lot more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubts regarding Pabbly, reach us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can visit us at forum.pabbly.com. If you have any pricing related query, you can visit this link. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues and do not forget to like, share and subscribe our channel.